So my season started off pretty average. I did my first race of the year in Abu Dhabi, which wasn't so great. I came sixth. I came off pretty average winter training block. So I wasn't in great shape at all for that race. I was a little disappointed, so I went on a training camp, and 2 days into the training camp I cracked a few ribs. So that put me out for my next race, which was going to be the Ironman in Texas. So I got back into some slow training, and then I went and decided to race in Wildflower, and that race I actually won off the back of what I thought wasn't the best training preparation. And then I went on to win the Knoxville Red Free, which was Olympic distance, so that was actually better than expected. And so, yeah, I had to change my whole sort of race schedule up through the middle of the year. I did start doing a few 70.3 races. I had a string of seconds with Kansas, Muncie, and Ironman. And then one of my big races of the year was the 70.3 World Champs in Vegas. And I actually had another really disappointing race there. I got sixth. I was a little concerned about my fitness for Kona because of that race. I trained really, really well leading up to that event, and I felt awesome. And because of sixth place, when I thought I was in the shape of my life, I was really, a bit nervous about going into Kona. But I had a really good training spell out in Kona 4 weeks before the race, and I ended up with a third place there, which was amazing, probably the best I've ever felt in any Ironman. And I always had that elusive Ironman where I wanted everything to go right, and I would say Kona this year was as close as I got to that. I still had a few problems on the run where I had to stop a few times, but essentially everything went pretty well, and so that's really exciting, because that's now I think where I should be and where I want to be in the Ironman league. I think a third place has not been unrealistic for me in the past. It's just that I've never had that race. So I go off that race, and like I said, I was so fit, and I was in pretty much the best shape of my life. And I'm not like one of those athletes who like to stop when my body is in such great form. I mean, I put myself through hell trying to get that fitness, and I didn't want to just stop there with one race after Kona. And so I decided I'd race. Well, I already had it on my plan before racing in Kona to race Miami 70.3. I won that last year, and I wanted to go back and win it again, and I did, and set another course record for that, so I was really happy with that. And then I went on to do the ITU Long Distance Worlds back in Vegas to redeem myself. Unfortunately, it was a duathlon, but actually didn't make a huge difference. I was second behind Rachel Joyce, and I was really happy with that race. I had actually the fastest run split, so that's always, for me, been my weakest leg, I would say, in a long distance racing, and I feel now I've actually started to bring that up to speed, and it's becoming one of my strengths, which is always, it's kind of like with any triathlon, you're always trying to make your strengths, your weaknesses your strengths, and work on what you need to work on, which is, I guess, the beauty of having three different things to race and train for.